record. Okay, welcome back. This is No More Losers, Dating After Divorce. I'm your host, Susan Petang. Yes, I do know my own name. How are you today? Today, we're going to talk about how to stop losing at love and start winning using one simple trick so that you'll have somebody nice to hang around with on a Saturday night, right? Okay, so it's happened to most of us. We start dating somebody and they turn out to be a jerk, a psychic vampire, a relationship loser, codependent, la la la. You know what I'm talking about. You see this guy, he turns out to be not what you thought he was. So how do you not do that? How do we avoid doing this? Okay. I help divorced women find the perfect partner for them and stop attracting people like that. So I'm going to tell you a story that illustrates, and tell me if you've been in this situation, and I'll bet you have. There's a woman named Mary, and she worked in a retail store in her town. Okay. And there was a customer who used to come in frequently, and his name was Steve. And Mary thought Steve was really cute. Okay. And they got to know each other over the course of a couple of months. And he seemed like this really nice, sweet guy that wouldn't hurt a fly. And so when he asked Mary to go out with him, she was like, okay, what's the harm? He's got to be okay. I see him all the time. He seems like such a nice man. Okay. So they dated for a few months. And, he seemed like this fun-loving, awesome guy. And one day Steve said, hey, can I borrow $200 from you? And she said, well, why? What do you need it for? And he said, well, I needed to pay my car insurance. It seems that claims that he wanted to send extra money to his ex for the kids. And he felt really bad, but he didn't have enough money now to pay his car insurance. Would she loan it to him? And Mary said, well, I don't see what the harm is. Sure. Okay, fine. She loaned it to him because, they've been going out for a while, and he seemed like a pretty stand-up kind of guy, and she never got paid back. So after a few weeks, suddenly she heard from Steve that his roommates he had two roommates, and both of them had moved out. And she said, wow, like what happened? And he goes, well, stuff happens. What can I say? It's a bad coincidence. They both happened to find other places to go to, well, what are you going to do? He said, but I'll tell you what, he said, the lease on your place is coming up. Why don't you move in with me? And she thought about it for a minute, and she said, you know what? I've been going out with him for a while, and he seems to be like a really nice guy, and he's got a good job, and look how well he takes care of his kids. So, he's always sending them extra money. So, you know what? I think it should be okay. So she moves in with Steve. Okay. Within a year, Steve had quit his job. He stayed home all day long drinking, expecting Mary to pay the bills. When she confronted him about it and said, hey, I can't afford to do this. I'm eating up all my savings. My credit card debt's going up. And he said, oh, don't worry. I just haven't found the right thing yet. I'm just waiting to find the right thing. So he constantly was borrowing money from Mary, from his friends, from his family to pay his child support and pay his car insurance. And, she was getting a little tired of this and said, you know what, this isn't cool. I don't want to be somebody's mom and take care of somebody. But she found out he was stealing money out of her wallet while she was sleeping or while she was in the shower so that he could buy more liquor so he could drink all day long. It took Mary 3 more years to save up the money so she could get the hell out because he kept stealing it from her. All right. And he never did get a job. All he did was sit at home and drink. You know what? That's a true story. Okay. I've changed the names to protect the innocent and the not so innocent, but these things really do happen. Okay. All Mary wanted was somebody to have fun with on a Saturday night, somebody to snuggle up with on a rainy Sunday morning, somebody to hang out with. Mary was desperate to have somebody in her life because she didn't want to be alone. Okay. She felt that if she didn't have a partner, then she wasn't a good person. Like, you're not lovable unless somebody else loves you. That's what she thought at the time. Okay. She felt like a loser. Okay. Like, if I don't have somebody in my life, I'm a loser. Okay. If she had had a stronger sense of self-esteem and self-confidence, she never would have let Steve get away with this. She might have started dating him, but she would have seen the writing on the wall right away and would have cut that shit off. Right? You know what I'm talking about. Okay. So, but she was so desperate. Okay. After, even before her divorce, she had trouble saying no to people because she was a people pleaser. Okay. That's the typical codependent hallmark of a codependent relationship. Um, when you want to please your partner, even to the point where you're willing to give up your values and you're willing to do whatever it takes to keep them from leaving you. And what happens is you will start to attract that kind of person. Okay. Because you are now sending out this vibe that says, I am desperate and I will do anything. Okay. And you don't realize that those subconscious messages are really on display. People may not understand consciously what the message is that's coming out from you, but they sense it. And people who are users and psychic vampires and, people who are just out for their own ends, they can smell that a mile away. Okay. That lack of self-esteem and lack of confidence and the inability to say no. Okay. So how do you fix that? Okay. How do you build your self-confidence? And here it is, the one simple trick that you can use to build your self-confidence so that your love life and a lot of other aspects of your life too are going to start improving, is to use what I call a life mantra. Okay. A life mantra is not religious or spiritual, not at all. It's a tool. It's a phrase that you are going to repeat all the time, like a mantra. Okay. That's going to teach your subconscious to think a different way. Your subconscious mind has this little voice that talks to you. It's the little devil that sits on your shoulder and tells you things that are naughty or nasty. Okay. Like, oh, you're not good enough for him. Why would you even want to talk to him? You're a loser. Okay. The only reason that you're a valuable human being is that you've got a partner. It doesn't matter how bad. That little voice. Okay. That's your subconscious talking. You learn that message going way back. Okay. And we're not going to talk about how to deal with that now. There is a way to deal with that message from the past and work through it. But what we're doing right now is a real simple trick that you can use to start to train your subconscious to start being positive. And so you can start liking yourself again and you can be confident again. After we have a divorce, it's like being in a blender, isn't it? We all get swirled around and our self-confidence goes out the window and we feel like crap. The life mantra that we use to build our self-confidence and our self-esteem is, I'm a badass because, okay, so every time Mary did something that was a teeny tiny little win, something that she was proud of, okay, she would use the mantra. So here are some examples. I'm a badass because I got my work done in record time. I'm a badass because I didn't get pissed off at the people driving in traffic. Okay, for me, that's a huge one. I say that every time I drive. I'm a badass because not only did I get the kids to practice, I had time to make dinner too. I'm a badass because I found everything I needed in the supermarket. Okay. Me, I'm a badass because I went out and bought something at Home Depot that I needed before it started raining, because it looks like it's going to rain out there. Do you notice? There's something that I want you to notice about these mantras. Okay. The mantras are based on something real that happened. Okay. It's not an affirmation. Affirmations don't work. I'll tell you that right now. Affirmations do not work. Okay. And the reason that they don't is that your subconscious, that little devil on your shoulder, they don't believe it. Okay. Little devil does not believe what you're saying. Oh, yeah, right. Okay. You can say that all you want, but I know better. Okay. But when you base that mantra on something that is real, that really happened, your subconscious can't argue with that. Okay. So even if you are practicing in the mirror for a presentation at work and you say, wow, I'm a badass because I nailed that, that demon on your shoulder cannot argue with it because you said it. It came out of your mouth. Even if you said it talking in the mirror, it's real. That's what's different. Okay. You have to base the mantras on something that is real, that really happened. Okay. Number two, notice also that the mantras are based on things that are small, little accomplishments. Okay. And there's two reasons for that, actually. The first reason is because that little devil on your shoulder, okay? If the only thing that you say that you're a badass about is something huge, like I just graduated college, okay? Your devil on the shoulder is going to say, yeah, okay, that's good, but what about all the other stuff you suck at? Okay. By making all those little tiny wins, okay, there's very little that your subconscious can say, oh, you suck at that, because look at all these little tiny things that I do every day. Okay. Your subconscious can't argue with that. The other thing is that all those little wins that you have during the day add up to something big. So what I want you to do is I want you, every time you do something that is the smallest of wins, the smallest of positives, even if you just tried and you failed miserably, you can say, you know what? I'm a badass because I at least tried. Okay. Your subconscious cannot argue with that. So give yourself a pat on the back, a round of applause, a golfer's clap if you're out in public, and tell yourself, look, I just did a great job. I'm a badass. Right? There you go. Try it for a week and see what happens. I guarantee you will feel better. Okay. It works. This is how I did it for myself. Okay. And that story about Mary, that was me. And I'm telling you, this works. So this isn't the only way that you can boost your self-esteem and your self-confidence. Okay. If you would like to discover the top 3 things that you are doing, that you are telling yourself that sabotage your love life, and the number 1 thing that you can do to start making it work for you so that you can attract your perfect partner, the perfect partner for you, I want you to go to www.thequietzonecoaching.com. Okay. You can go to the services page. So it's www.thequietzonecoaching.com/services and pick up a perfect partner assessment. Schedule that. It's free. It's my gift to you, no charge for that. And we will do just that. We will look at what's holding you back and how you can start moving forward to finding your perfect partner. Until tomorrow, have a wonderful, awesome, amazing day. See you then. Namaste.